Hi, how are you? Welcome to this video from our podcast channel called Gumball Sports Machine. If this is your first time here, well, if you could go ahead and hit that like, hit the subscribe button, it would be much appreciated. And you could catch us live. But here's a segment from our most recent podcast. Like and subscribe, like my OG says. Thank you. The Milwaukee Bucks have released Doc Rivers, or he departed from Doc Rivers, whatever the case is, whatever the terminology was. DLO, you know how these situations work. Doc Rivers is a legend coach, so maybe the Bucks wanted to fire him, but they didn't want to look bad, so it looks like Doc Rivers walked away or whatever the case is. But moral of the story is Doc Rivers will no longer be the head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. That was rough. That was rough.
It was, and it was.
Yeah, that was bad, D-Lo. You know what? And I'm glad that you didn't say anything about it. I'm glad that we just kind of left it at that. Thank you.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say it as long as you didn't say it, but since you said it, I'll just agree with what you said.
It's a good point. That's a good point. That's usually how we roll here on GSM. But D-Lo, your reaction to Doc Rivers getting fired?
I mean, to me, this was like expected, especially after now many years of just failure from not just Doc, but just the Bucks in general. Um, They're gonna blow it up. They're gonna blow the entire roster to pieces. Um, Giannis will be the first to go, in my opinion. In my humble opinion, Giannis will be the first piece moved. I think Miles Turner is gonna get moved. I think everyone is gone. Um, but when you look at it, we talk about Doc Rivers being like an iconic coach, but he's not that great of a coach. When you think about it, he's not a good coach. I mean, outside of the one championship he had in Boston, like what was he doing? You know what I mean?
It's been rough, and for the journey that he's gone on since he left Boston, D-Lo, whether it was Philly or the Clippers, he was there for the longest time, and now obviously Milwaukee. He's not showing very good signs that he didn't get carried by the big three in Boston.
Oh, and he definitely did. And when we talk about the big three, it's really realistically more of like a big four because Rondo was also there and
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
popping.
that's a good point.
Yeah, and he was popping. Mm. So, I mean, it's just like when you think about it, he's just not good as a coach. Like he's
I
not a
mean,
good coach. I don't know why
and
people keep hiring him. He's not a good coach.
solely based off of that one season, D-Lo.
Yeah,
That one championship season.
solely based off of reputation, Doc Rivers
Yep.
is finding head coaching jobs.
Yep. And I'll tell you this, D-Lo. This was a shock to absolutely nobody. Doc Rivers getting fired from the Milwaukee Bucks surprised zero people in this entire world. In fact, I'll take it a step even further. This 3 years that Doc Rivers was the head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks was a complete waste of time. A complete waste of time. And a complete waste of Giannis Antetokounmpo's prime. When you have a player like Giannis Antetokounmpo, you are looking to compete for a championship every single season. Giannis is a generational player. He's a top 75 player. He is one of the greatest players who ever played this game of basketball. And they were never, ever legitimate championship contenders under Doc Rivers. Never. And so for them to go 3 years with Doc Rivers and never even have a chance to win a championship while having Giannis on a championship roster, or having Giannis on your team is insane to me. Absolutely insane. And so because of that, this was a waste of 3 years. A complete waste. I understand you had Damian Lillard, and they went out and tried to win. That didn't work out. Now, where do you go from here? Where do you go from here, D-Lo? And if you're the Bucks, and you and I were kind of talking before the show, like, do you blow it up? Do you, try and rebuild around Giannis? What is the next step for Milwaukee? Because again, Doc Rivers never gave this team a chance to win a championship. Not at all. Not even close. And now that he's gone, if you're the Bucks, D'Lo, where do you go from here?
I mean, I said it when I started. You blow the whole team up, starting with Giannis and Miles Turner, the two, money getters on your squad, because they're kind of locked into Damian Lillard for the foreseeable future because, they waived him.
Mhm.
They have to pay that salary, right? Still think that was a bad idea, right? If you don't waive him, granted you're having Dame coming off an Achilles, but you still have the duo of Dame and Giannis, and then you have the pieces that you may or may not be getting around him. Obviously, you wouldn't have Miles Turner because Dame would still be there. You wouldn't have the money to pay him. So at least in that scenario, like you have a duo that you could potentially get some pieces around. With how they're currently constructed, you're paying Dame money, you're paying Miles Turner money to really not do a whole lot. You're you're paying Kyle Kuzma, like that just says everything you need to know about the Bucks. If you're paying Kyle Kuzma,
It's a
so
good point.
they just don't have any direction. They don't have anything good over there. Mm, Ryan Rollins was a nice surprise for sure, but I'm not expecting Ryan Rollins to be a star in the league. He's a good role player, but he's not a star. So outside of Giannis, you don't have anything. Um, yeah, I mean, outside of blowing it up and restarting, there's really not a whole lot that they can do.
D'Lo, if you ask me, what, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, hey, should the Bucks trade Giannis? My
Yes,
answer was yes. Yes, you get rid of him. You got to get what you can for him right now because I don't think he will be at a higher value than what he is right now. And then we talk about it now. This might be a hot take, David Largo. I
don't you
think
dare.
I think Giannis should stay in Milwaukee.
Oh,
Hear me out.
I'm not
Hear me.
hearing you out
Hear me.
no,
Hear me out.
you're drunk. And
Hear me.
and you had a drink before you came on the show
Listen,
because the Suns won today, and
they did. They beat the Thunder by
and
30. I don't
you
care.
and you were happy.
I
You
was
were
happy.
happy about it,
It was.
and you decided to come on the show drunk is what you did, and
That,
that's just
well,
unacceptable on your part.
that you know what? That is unacceptable. But I did not pull a Tiger Woods and go drive. So
And
this
and and
positive.
yes,
Yeah,
you gotta
you
look at
understand.
the good side.
You know what? There's a silver lining in everything. Okay. But okay, speaking of Tiger Woods, we'll talk about the Masters here in a few minutes. But I think Giannis should stay. And here's why. Okay. Here's why. A lot of people say get Giannis out of Milwaukee. Milwaukee's the and I think to my own team, D'Lo, you mentioned the Suns. Last year, where were the Suns at? The Suns were in the middle of a purgatory. They had two of the 15 best players in the league, and they didn't even make the play-in. They did not even make the play-in. And now this year, they're 8 games over 500. They finished the year 45 and 37. Devin Booker is still on the team, and now they have a chance to go to the playoffs. In my eyes, okay, why can't the Bucks do the same thing? They have their franchise player. They can build around him. Now, they waived Damian Lillard just like the Bucks waived Bradley Beal. The only disadvantage that the Bucks have are the Bucks don't have a Kevin Durant to trade so that they can get back a Dylan Brooks and a Jalen Green and multiple first round picks. So that's the only caveat that I see that. But I mean, when you look at Giannis, if you go and find the right coach, the Suns went and found Jordan Ott, and he's done wonders for this basketball team this season. If the Bucks can go find the right coach to pair with Giannis, and if they build around Giannis, they bring in the right guys around Giannis. You bring in a legitimate playmaking pass first point guard, one or maybe two, and then you surround him with 3-and-D guys, a bunch of guys that can spread the floor, knock down threes on a consistent basis, and take some pressure off of Giannis when he's in the game, because so that these other teams can't build the wall to defend him. You have to build around Giannis. Now, the next step to that is Giannis has to stay healthy. He has to stay healthy, whatever team he's on next year, whether it's Milwaukee or whether it's another team who traded for him. He has to stay healthy. But if I'm Milwaukee, I'm looking at the Suns and seeing what they did this year. Okay, they were horrible last year. They didn't make the plan, just like we didn't make the plan this year. But they had a franchise player. They kept with them. They didn't trade him. They kept their franchise player, and look what he's done for them this year. And if Devin Booker can do that for your franchise, Giannis can absolutely do that for your franchise. And so if I'm the Milwaukee Bucks, I'm going out and I'm spreading this coaching search wide open. I'm casting the net far and wide to see who I can go find, who's going to have the best relationship with Giannis, who can develop these players the best way possible so that they can be at their very, very best when they need to be. I can see him staying in Milwaukee and them turning this around, D'Lo. I absolutely can. And if the Suns didn't do what they did this year, I would be singing a completely different song. But because I saw that and I saw what can happen and it was what able to happen, I think Giannis might be able to have some sort of success in Milwaukee in the future.
See, I'm really glad you think so, because in no world can they be the Phoenix Suns. For one reason and one reason only. They don't have a Kevin Durant to trade to go get these pieces to help you build a roster.
That's a big one.
Miles Turner's value is at an all-time low. Giannis Antetokounmpo, ever since he won his first MVP, his value is at an all-time low. Bless you, by the way.
Thank you.
Bobby Portis, he won Sixth Man of the Year. His value is at an all-time low. Kyle Kuzma just stinks. Okay?
Yeah,
There's no,
that's the best way to put it.
the only guy of value outside of Giannis that you have right now is Ryan Rollins. That's it. You have no value. There's zero pieces that they can go out and get that would make a difference on this team.
But Giannis is generational, D'Lo.
And
He
that's
can carry a team.
and that's fine, but he can't. He cannot.
Oh man.
He is not LeBron.
Like, okay, D'Lo, but if he stays healthy throughout the whole year and you put pieces around
That's a
him,
big if. He hasn't
That's a
been
big if.
healthy in
You got me.
years.
you got me. That's a humongous IF. Okay. That you got me.
And he's
But-
only getting older.
Oh man. And see, this is why these past 3 years with Doc Rivers at the helm were such a waste. Such a waste.
Milwaukee should have traded him at the deadline.
Yeah.
His value was only going to drop. His value will not increase over the summer. It will not increase at the start of next year. It won't go back up. You have a disgruntled superstar who will be on an expiring deal. So unless he agrees to sign an extension somewhere, you're not going to get off of him. You're going to waste another year
That's
when you
tough.
could have just gotten value for him now. I guarantee you Miami is not going to Milwaukee with that same package they did 2 months ago.
No. Mm-mm. You're not getting
won't
nearly
give
as
that
much
up.
for Giannis right now. No.
There's no way
Ah.
they give that up. 'Cause
Man,
look at it from any other team's perspective. Giannis alone, with the assets you have to give up, will not win you a championship. And I mean, unless you're like San Antonio, but like, I don't think they would do that either.
no. No.
So when you look at it from that perspective, is Giannis enough for you to give up the assets you would have to give up for him and then compete with Oklahoma City, San Antonio, Detroit, or Boston? Because those, I think, are like the elite four right there.
Yeah.
And the answer is no. For any of the teams that are pursuing Giannis, there's not a package that you could give to go out and get him. You would rather just wait another year and sign him in free agency.
And
The Bucks are in an awful position.
They are. They're in a really bad spot right now, the Bucks.
They
are.
might be in a worse spot than the Suns were last year.
And that's the part that hurts so much for them. If you're a Bucks fan, is
The
Sun.
Jesse is crying in the corner.
Well, the problem with Jesse is Jesse's a Giannis fan. So wherever Giannis goes, he's not a Bucks fan. He's a Giannis fan. So wherever Giannis goes, that's where he's gonna.
And I know that's why Jesse's crying in the corner, because he's going to have to witness another year of Giannis with the Bucks wasting his career.
It's bad. It's really, really bad. Oh man. I'll say this, DLO, and I just with Giannis and how unbelievably talented he is and how unbelievably skilled he is, I like if that's a team, I think he can carry them into the play-in, whether it's a 9 or 10 seed or whether it's a 7 or 8 seed.
He can't, and we're gonna talk about it later because the East
was
is
busy this year.
really nice.
Yeah,
there is not a single team in the playoffs in the East that they can overthrow next year. There's not a single one.
Man. Yeah. That's tough, man. Yeah. Listen,
again, we talk about if, but Giannis will not stay healthy next year.
No,
especially if he's still playing in Milwaukee where he has to do everything. Yeah. He will not stay healthy.
And you mentioned the Spurs. I mean, I think for the Spurs, and I agree with you. For the Spurs to actually be interested in Giannis and give up a package for Giannis, they would have to have like a monumental, like they would have to, whoever wins in the play-in between the Suns and the Blazers, they would have to lose to them in the first round in order for them to go get a guy like Giannis.
And by lose, I mean get swept and lose every game by 40 points.
Yeah. It's tough, man. I love Giannis too, but it sucks to see what his career has become since Doc Rivers took the helm. Like it really does. But